Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another bread video. And in this recipe I'll be making two of these wonderful whole wheat, or as we like to call them, brown loaves. This is a fantastic and healthy recipe, and as it uses the same amount of energy, I like to make two at a time. One to use and one to freeze. It's a great time and energy saver. And as my dodgy hand isn't too bad at the moment, I'll show you my personal hand kneading technique. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. And the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. Okay, as always, I'll start by testing that my yeast is alive and well. First, add your runny honey to the warm water and give it a good mix. Remember, it's always best to test that your yeast is working before you start any bread recipe. And now add your yeast to the water and give that a good mix too. And if you want to use fresh yeast in this recipe, you'll need 20 grams. Right, set that aside until it activates. If there's no change after 10 minutes, your yeast must be dead and it needs replacing. And there you are. After 10 minutes, the yeast is fully active and ready to go. And like I said in the intro, I'll be hand kneading this one. But if you have a mixer, by all means you can use that if you prefer. Once the liquid's in the mixing bowl, you can add the oil. Now I'm using olive oil, but any cooking oil or indeed softened butter will do. Right, time to add the flour. For a lighter whole wheat or brown bread as we call it, I'm using 25% white bread flour and 75% whole wheat flour. You can use 100% whole wheat flour if you wish, but the finished bread will be a little on the denser side. The final ingredient to go in is the salt. As mentioned earlier, I'm making two loaves, but if you just want one, simply half everything including the yeast. Right, using my trusty wooden spoon handle, I'll bring everything together in the bowl. It might feel a bit dry at first, but don't be tempted to add any more water. These measurements are correct, guys. It will feel better in a moment. Now swap to your bowl scraper and scrape down any flour that's stuck to the sides of the bowl. If you're using a stand mixer, just add everything to the machine and knead for 10 minutes using the door hook attachment. Once your dough is together, scrape it out onto your worktop. Once it's on the bench, and with the help of your bench scraper this time, bring it all together as shown. Once everything is combined, now we can start kneading the dough. So set your timer for 10 minutes and start kneading. And this is the technique I've used for 40 years, so it is tried and tested. First, push the dough forward with both heels of the hand. Then I fold the top over towards me with my right hand and at the same time turning or flicking the dough 90 degrees to the left with my left hand. Then push forward again and repeat the process. Probably the best way is to just watch how I do it. And using my limited video editing skills, I've tried to slow it down as best I can. Practice the movement using a damp tea towel or dishcloth. You'll soon pick it up. It'll become second nature in no time. Once the 10 minutes are up, form it into a ball. Tighten up the outer skin of the dough as shown. Now lightly oil a large clean bowl. Place the dough into the bowl and give it a quick swirl. Make sure that both sides of the dough has a thin coat of the oil. Now cover the bowl. I like to use one of our shower caps for this, as it keeps in the moisture but also allows the dough to breathe. Now let that proof or rise for 1 hour. And while that's proofing, you can grease a couple of 2-pound loaf tins. These exact same tins are available on the site if you're interested. Now I've greased mine with a little lard, but you can use butter or a solid vegetable fat instead. Once the time's up, your dough should have at least doubled in size. Tip it out onto your bench and knock it back. This simply means force all of the built-up gas out of it. Form the dough into a ball and get it onto your scales. And if your measurements were correct at the start, you should have around 1380 grams. That's about 3 pounds. Whatever you have, divide it into 2 equal pieces. And if you wouldn't mind guys, if you found the video useful and enjoyable, can you give the video a like by hitting the thumbs up? It really helps the channel tremendously. Now form each piece into an oval shape as shown. Cover them with a dry lightweight cloth and let them rest for 5 minutes. This rest period makes the final shaping so much easier. When the time's up, try to follow my shaping technique and form each one into a sausage shape as shown. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal and Super Thanks supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Don't worry about getting this shape perfect, it'll sort itself out as it rises. Once done, get each one into the greased loaf tins, gently pressing down the dough into the corners of the tins. So the dough doesn't dry out while proofing, give each one a thin coat of cooking oil. OK, get them covered with your dry proofing cloth again and let them rise for approximately 45 minutes this time, all until they've risen to around 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches above the top of the tins. When you think there's only 10 minutes left on that final rise, preheat your oven to 190 Celsius, that's 375 Fahrenheit or gas mark 5. As soon as you turn the oven on, add a pan of boiling water to the bottom of your oven. The steam that's produced in the oven will make the top of the loaves nice and crispy. To make the top of the loaves shiny too, separate the white from the yolk of a medium-sized egg. And I'll be showing you how to do that in a little while. OK, time's up on that final proof, and they're looking fantastic. Well risen and tight as a drum. Give each one a coat of the egg white. Be careful not to get any egg wash between the tin and the dough, as it may cause the bread to stick when baking. Now get your lame or baker's blade and score the dough straight down the middle of the loaf. All you got to do now is to get them into the preheated oven. Once in the oven, set your timer for 30 minutes. And while those wonderful loaves are baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my brand new 5th recipe book a quick shout out. This latest release features 12 all new bread recipes not found in any of my previous 4 books, along with even more recipes for air fryers, pies, cakes and desserts. The book also includes interactive elements such as QR codes linking directly to step-by-step video tutorials for each recipe. I think you're going to love it. We're starting with a limited supply, so get your orders in early guys. Right, that's the time up on these fantastic brown loaves, and the aroma is divine. Even after 40 years working in kitchens, the smell of baking bread never ever gets old. And they're looking magnificent. A rich golden brown colour with that crispy shiny top. Amazing. Get them straight out of the tins and let them rest on a wire rack to cool. And when I come back, I'll let you see what they're like on the inside and try a piece with some of my homemade butter. Okay, they're still warm, but as usual I can't wait any longer, so straight in with the bread knife. And because we took the time to put that pan of water in the bottom of the oven, the top of these loaves are nice and crispy, as is the rest of the crust. And the inside, it has a light close crumb. It's the perfect texture for whole wheat bread. Marvellous. Time to add lots of my homemade butter. I'll leave a link below to my butter video. It's unbelievably easy to make and cost effective these days. Time for a big bite. And this is without a doubt one of the best breads you'll ever make. It has everything. It's easy to make, it's a fraction of what you pay in the store, it's very healthy, but most of all, it tastes absolutely fantastic. Out of all the bread recipes on this channel, this has got to be in the top 3 at least. Another big thumbs up for this fantastic whole wheat bread recipe, guys. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Paul Dancy, Dermot Sloan, Taryn, BPATB, Austin Smith, RPSB Brothers, Jens K3250 and Rosalind Mosley. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.